Good, beautiful day, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. So many incredible changes happening in our consciousness, and most people are not even aware that it's going on. Today, I have with me the energy of Archangel Michael, who said to me this morning, it's important people understand that Ascension is the awakening of your soul. Ascension is the awakening of your soul. It's also the process that Master Jesus teaches, how to lift yourself up to connect to God through conscious knowledge and awareness of that life's existence. It's that's such a funny life I'm living now. It's delightful and wondrous and magical and crazy at sometimes. And we were on a drive yesterday, and there's a truck that swayed in front of us and cut us off, and I just said to God, I said, God, would you mind flipping him the bird for me? And all of a sudden this bird flew down in front of the truck and spun as it went right over the front of this truck's cab in front of us. We were laughing our asses off because there was God flipping the bird right in front of this guy. He's an actual bird doing a flip in front of the driver. So don't ever think that God doesn't have a sense of humor, because it does. It does have a sense of humor. Consciousness is very funny when it wants to be. So Ascension is awakening your soul. And the sooner you understand the distinction between your body, which can only be, by the way, your body can only be male or female if you are in a human form. That's number one, male and female. You are not your body. This is where a lot of so-called confusion and so-called dysphoria comes from, not recognizing the difference between the different aspects of your being. Your biology is not you. It's the instrument that was gifted to you to use. But it's not you. It is not your soul. But it is the instrument through which your soul expresses. And it's important you understand this distinction. It will end in needless and unnecessary confusion. You are not the content of your mind. The content of your mind is the information that you have acquired that lets you use the instrument of your biology to function creatively in this world. You are not your body. You are not your mind. You are a soul, an awareness, a spirit of universal light, made in the image and likeness of its creator. Now, your science is still confused as to whether there is the actuality of a living God or not, but they have eyes and cannot see and ears that cannot hear, that the evidence is all around them that a great intelligence has orchestrated and set in motion this wonderful and delightful experience that we all call life on all levels, whether you are in a physical body or not in a physical body, regardless of your dimension. It does not matter. There is an intelligence behind the principles measured both by science and the faith of those of teaching the spirit. So you are not your body. It is an instrument given to you to utilize. You are not your content of your mind. That is information you have acquired from this life and many others. Do you think learning how to build a planet or a solar system or a universe or a dimension, you think that happens in a single lifetime? It takes many, many uncountable years to acquire the knowledge, the wisdom, and the intelligence to build a body. And your science thinks that simply by organizing the genetic structure of the existing materials provided to it, that you think you are a god. You are not a god. Simply by restructuring what was given to you to use as an instrument for learning, not an instrument for authority and control. But you are a soul, all of you, irrespective of your functions and your actions towards yourselves and others. Every one of you is a soul. And becoming aware of this fact can end a great deal of confusion and alter the direction in which you are ultimately going towards. And I say ultimately because if you do not change your knowledge of what you are, realize what you are, then you will be basing many of your decisions upon the limits of your biology and your psychology, which are indeed quite limited when compared to the intelligence that can meticulously place a leaf on every branch in the exact right place it needs to be, that can orchestrate every living, animate and inanimate object, every molecule of creation to function as you see it with your own physical eyes. And if you do not understand who you are, then you will ultimately go in a specific outcome. But there is another direction when you realize what you are, when you come to understand that you are a soul, and that the war is not to be with each other, but with the awakening of your soul. And for those that believe that their ability to transcend the creative mechanisms of the divine itself, you are in for a very realistic and unpleasant surprise. Now, how do you awaken your soul? How do you awaken your soul? In truth, it is always awake, but it has been lost in the illusion of personality, the illusion of the information that has been given to you, and you believe that that is the source of who you think you are, and it is simply the source of your personality. The evaluative process of being able to examine your thoughts is a step in the right direction. The ability to begin the process of evaluating your thoughts is a step in the right direction, away from subjectivity to the information of your personality. To evaluate your thoughts, their source, their origins, to understand that they are causal in nature to what you experience in this world, your thoughts, to understand that you can fabricate and generate and manifest your own thinking and thought process. And while this can have its advantages, if they are not properly reasoned out and understood in their function and form and outcome, then there will be effects that may not be so desirable. But that first step of beginning the process of evaluating that you are not your thoughts, it is an electrical mechanism thought that resonates both with the frequency of biology and the frequency of your soul consciousness, and that it can be altered and changed by the nature and quality of the information that is stored within it or released from it. For you can release information from your mind, you can purge ideas that do not serve your life effectively, and you can likewise heal your body in the same fashion from the perspective of what you are as a soul. You are an awareness, a soul. And that process of recognizing that you are awareness, that you indeed simply observe what goes on in your mind, you observe what goes on in the world, that process of becoming aware that you are this observing consciousness begins to move you away from the subjectivity of what you would call the animus or the body. You begin to move away from subjectivity to its impulses, its wants, its needs, to surrender your subjectivity to biology exclusively, which many of you find yourselves struggling with, believing that the compulsions and impulses of your biology are what you should allow to determine your actions. And that many of these impulses generate specific ideas and beliefs that formulate wrong ideas in your mind about who you are, is why you see so many things going on this planet that are not very pleasant or appealing. But I came specifically today to this one to just remind you gently and lovingly that you are a soul. Ascension is awakening your soul. You move yourself away from subjectivity to matter and mind, to the realm of the creative process of your consciousness, to gain an awareness that there are ways of manifesting and experiencing and creating conditions through your mind and in this world that can be far more appealing than the simple actions of sensorial pleasure and self-aggrandizement that we see going on in your most important roles in this world. But your journey is individual and collective, that each and every one of you, irrespective of your position financially or materially or socially, each of your respective positions loans itself to a general outcome that all of you will experience in varying degrees. And the intensity of the degree that you will experience it, whether it is good or not so good, will be dependent upon the role you play. Those who are furthest away from the acts of evil tend to suffer less repercussions than those closest to those acts of evil. But none of you can escape the responsibility of your contribution to the process of your experiences in this physical dimension. None of you. Even if you escape the body through what you call biological death, you cannot escape the effects of your own causing. You cannot. Recognizing that your thoughts are not you, in that moment you begin the process of creating the necessary divide, you might say a stepping back, so to speak, away from who you've been told to believe you are supposed to be, to step back and away from that and evaluate, is that who I really want to be? What they told me, what they said, is that who I really wish to be? And so many of you, if you can recognize even the mere act of stepping away from your subjectivity to your biology, will loan itself to a great relief. To believe that your body is the source of your identity is a great disservice and a terrible misperception. To believe that your body is the locus of who you are as a spiritual being, as a soul. No, your body is the instrument through which your soul does and will express according to the nature and quality of what you are giving attention to. Think about this. If your body is not you, but an instrument through which you express, then what are you here to express? And many of you make the error of thinking, I'm here to acquire this sensation of pleasure from the world. That is simply a mechanism to ensure that your body will not be exposing itself to things that are detrimental to itself, that prolong and extend its life. That mechanism of pleasure and pain has long been there before you as a soul came into being. The function of the biology has been along in creation, much longer than the function of man. And many of you lost in the belief that sensation of the body is more important than the realization of your soul, where you are suffering greatest. Those of you that believe that the body is the locus of your identity are suffering the greatest, for then you sorely believe that physical pleasure is the only way that you can attain some relief from the suffering that occurs when you're in denial of who you are as a soul, as a spiritual consciousness. And when you realize that the body is just the instrument, then you must step back to the mind. And when you realize the body is simply the instrument that follows your instruction and direction, and then you begin the process of evaluating your mind, the process of ascension has begun. The moment you realize, this is simply the instrument to my expression, not the source of my consciousness. The source of my being is not my body. The source of your being is not your body. And the source of your being is not your mind. The source of your being can be pursued and understood when you begin to step away from what is not who you are. And the movement away, gently away, from subjectivity to your body, from subjectivity to the personality. This is ascension, this movement in your consciousness. It is the great struggle between heaven and earth, soul and matter. And as you make this journey, you begin to awaken. Ascension spontaneously and naturally occurs when you begin to awaken and make that distinction between what you are and what you are not. The reorganization of your mind can only occur when you are able to make the distinction between yourself as the awareness that can shift and change the information in your mind, or you can remain subjected to it. But that moment where you begin to realize, I can change what is in my thinking mind, because it is not who I am. And your thinking mind is not who you are. Your thinking mind is not who you are. You are the one aware of the thinking mind. And in that position of awareness, you begin to rise above, again, subjectivity then, to the values and ideas expounded to you from the environment, many of which are very destructive. Or if the values that you were receiving from this environment, from the realm of those who believe they are simply just the body and flesh, if they were all so good, then you would be in a very different societal and civilizational experience than you currently are. And this ascension from mind and this ascension from body begins to awaken you to your soul. It begins to have you step back from being subjective. It allows you to reconsider and evaluate the thinking mind and what is in it and where these thoughts came from, and to decide what you will remove from your mind and what you will place in your mind. You must learn to choose thoughts very carefully, but to do that, you must recognize that you have that capacity to do this, that you can change your thoughts. And the greatest battle is when you awaken and recognize that most of what is in your mind is not closely representative of who and what you are as a spiritual being or consciousness, but that your spiritual awareness can evaluate the nature and quality of certain thoughts, and recognizing that the certain quality of specific thoughts creates very precise outcomes in your experience of creation and your application of the laws of creation, which include thought and emotion interacting through matter. Thought and emotion interacting through matter constitutes your usage of the creative process as you learn to become as your creator made you to learn to become. As you begin to orchestrate changes in your mind as a deliberate function of your will, you are awake, or at least awakening. When you begin to question the truth or the falsity of ideas, the goodness or the not so goodness of thoughts in your mind and beliefs. To ask yourself questions such as, are these thoughts functions of creation, a loving creator? Many of you would turn to your God and say that, why, oh, why are you allowing this? And it would simply say to you, you have allowed it yourselves. You are choosing it yourselves. You're enacting it yourselves. And I gave you free will to do these things, to think these things, that you might learn from them and change them and create a noble and beautiful life without taking away your option to inflict suffering upon yourself, that you might learn from that also. I made certain that all things that you would do would afford you the opportunity to climb the stairs to heaven, to that place of your truest state of love and goodness, the full nature of being completely free to create and be and do. And that is the law. And so you may create as much suffering as you can endure, and you may create as much love and goodness as you may endure. But there are some aspects that are far more enduring than others. Love is far more enduring than fear. Love will always be far more enduring than fear. Now, I also wanted to bring forth this concept of the opposites. Why do you have these opposites here? Pain and pleasure, good and evil, that you might recognize that there are two paths, the one of love and the one of fear. And all the great ones that you have written about in your books and spoken of in your schools, your great teachers, your great healers, your great religious leaders have all understood the path of these opposites and the necessity for recognizing the distinction between the two, and choosing one or the other allows you to sculpt and mold your creative process in the fashion that you will. But many of you have not realized that you have authority over evil and good, love and fear. You have authority over them in the process of ascension when you begin to awaken to know that you are not your body, you are not your mind, you are a sentient being given the opportunity, to use mind and matter as a function of learning the wonderful art of creation. For it is an art form. Can you not see the beautiful symmetry in nature all around you? Even in the unique wonder of your own biology, such intricacy and precision. Would that you would recognize that you yourself are capable of such greatness, of such creation, of such goodness. And it's available in any moment to begin to exercise that process. We have heard some of you speaking, well, how do we stop this evil on this world? And we would say to you, stop supporting it and start supporting the functions of love. Recognize the difference between good and evil. That is, if that is your choice. For there are many of you that have made the choice that evil is more preferable to good, that you can benefit materially from your use of evil, but it will not find you freed to the hallowed halls of creation, or heaven if you like. For your energy, your thought will necessitate your experience of your being, and the acquisition of things of this world, while it may be more desirable from the perspective of physical comfort, may not loan itself to the liberation that heaven offers you. And what do I mean by that? The liberation of heaven. When you realize that what you are far surpasses the things of this world, but that you must be willing to surrender your subjectivity to the things of this world to know this truth. And there are many of you who have, for many civilizations, repeatedly done the same thing again and again. And while you may call to the angels and God and the masters to assist you, you must be willing to receive the assistance, and then you must be willing to apply it. The assistance will be wisdom, knowledge, and truth. That will be the assistance. You are not children in the sense of children that you understand. You are divine entities learning a function of creation that is unique to this dimension in the way it is experienced and applied. But you are fully capable of realizing the profound limitlessness of your being, And the only thing limiting you are the beliefs and the ideologies and the conceptions that you've formulated about what life is and what life isn't. And you can agree with others about what their conceptions of life are, and by your agreement, you shall have it. So be mindful to what you agree to, mindful what you support. Many of the things that you are supporting are not in agreement with eternal life. Many of the things that you're in agreement with are not in alignment with the experience of love or ascension. You must evaluate what it is that you are. Ascension is your soul awakening. To remember you are not your body. You are not your thoughts. You are awareness, consciousness, a soul. An angel recognizes that distinction. Your masters recognize the distinction. Many of your practicing ascetics recognize the distinction between body, mind, and soul. And in the recognition of that distinction, there is the liberation from suffering. In the recognition of the distinction, there is relief from suffering. So, this is very important. Ascension is awakening your soul. And it's funny because right now I got this really intense vibration in my ear. And when I tune into that vibration, I hear, be still. Keep your mind still. Learn to keep your mind still. And your body also. That you might begin to glimpse in the reflection of yourself who you are. Keep your body and your mind still, that you might glimpse the reflection of who you are. And in that moment, you will be born again when you realize that you are not of the flesh, but learning through it. You are not of mind, but you are learning with it. You are applying functions of creation that give you the opportunity to liberate yourself from needless suffering and into incredible acts of creation. Yes. And so we find ourselves in this wonderful place together, all of us, where we're literally waking up. This is wake up time, folks. That's what they're all saying to me. Wakey, wakey. Right? Time to wake up. And if you want to learn to wake up, come and learn from the masters. Come and learn from them. On July 22nd, which is about a week and a half from now, we begin our 102 Masterclass, where you will learn how to make the clear and decisive point in consciousness that you are not your thoughts. You are not your body. These are instruments that you use in the function of creation. This is a 3-week program. It's an intensive learning program. We're in the last week of our 101 Masterclass. Then we take a short break off, which is an introductory program. But the 102 is for anyone seeking to learn the simple and most elegant ways to alleviate yourself from unnecessary emotional, mental turmoil in the simplest, easiest ways from the Ascended Masters, the guides and angels that work through me and the other teachers that we have, the other instructors that work with us. You did not come here to suffer. You came here to learn to create. So please head on over to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and register for this upcoming 102 Masterclass called Liberation. That's where you liberate yourself from subjectivity to your body, subjectivity to your mind. You train them to work for you instead of feeling like your mind and body are something that are enslaving you, that you're trapped in. No, it's the other way around. Your mind and body are held by you in trust. And you have to awaken yourself because your suffering is unnecessary. And I cannot tell you how many times we've watched people in the last 4.5 years go through this particular program and experience profound ongoing changes, even years later. You did not come here to suffer. You came here to learn the function of creation. Think about that. You did not come to this world to suffer. You came here to learn the function of creation. And somewhere along that line, you might have experienced some suffering, but that suffering does not have to define who you are the rest of your life. You can use what you have experienced as teaching mechanisms to liberate yourself from that suffering. And I know firsthand what that's like. And you do. You have guides, you have angels, you have ascended masters, you have multidimensional beings that will work with you. Like I said, we're driving along the highway yesterday, and when that truck driver cut off, and I said, flip him the bird, right? And that bird flips in front of the truck. This light, this love, this your guide, your angels, the divine, whatever you want to call it, is around you. It's within you. You're a part of it. You're not separate from it. And you can ask and you can receive, and you must learn how to do that. But you have to learn how to get out of being stuck in the belief that your mind is who you are. It's not who you are. And when you get out of your mind, you start to receive information. When you get out of your mind, you start to see who you really are, not who you've been told to believe. Who mom told you and dad told you, the teachers, the professors, the doctors, whoever told you this is who you are. You'll discover you're not who they told you that they think you are. Don't delay. Ascension is a real consciousness movement. It's shifting your awareness from subjectivity to body and mind to the position of consciousness where you can orchestrate deliberate, intentional, and creative choices that influence and impact your life and the people in your life in powerful, positive, and often very inobtrusive ways. So you're not trying to force things on people. You just become a better being, and the nature of the change in your energy affects people differently. When you change your energy, it affects people around you almost immediately. And one of the exercises we were given to teach people a long time ago is, you go into a grocery store and you see somebody's upset, and then you move into a state of love and you just send I wish love on those people. And you just hold that in them. And lo and behold, we cannot tell you how many times people said, I went in and I saw that person yelling at that man and I just sent love out and they stopped. The scope of your influence over your life does not stop at the surface of your skin. Your thoughts, your emotions emanate out into this world and they affect things and people. And when you realize that, you can move into a realm that is natural and divine. It was the gift that was given to us to learn to be a creator. The statement is God made man in his image and likeness. Why? So that you could become that as well through your learning process. It might not happen in a single lifetime. You might not become it right now, but you've got to start that journey somewhere. So please come and join us on that journey. You got about a week and a half to register for the Masterclass 102 Liberation Program on my website. We're going to get some questions and answers. I'm really excited about this because hi guys, good morning. So I'm just scrolling back up to the top of my good morning. Here we go. Good morning. Hi guys. Yeah, questions. Question from Mary Ann Scott. What is the karmic relationship between myself and my 28-year-old son, Dharma? What lesson am I to learn from him? Thank you. It's not something that you are to learn from him. It is something that you're to learn from each other. It is something that you're here to learn from each other. The function of love will yield the truth. The function of love will yield the truth. Let no thought in your mind be less than that towards him. If you wish to witness the miracle of your soul, then let no thought towards this dear one be of anything less than love. Remove all fear from your thinking of this one. You get to recognize that the extension of love is an extension of Dharma. The extension of fear is an extension of Dharma. The extension of patience is the extension of Dharma. And by your actions and the extension of your energy, you will understand what is your Dharma, or if you wish, your karma with this one. And this one with you. You can liberate others from their suffering by liberating yourself from it first and foremost. For how you would be with others in the relief of your own suffering will be very different than when you are in suffering. What you would say and what you would do, it's very different. It's very different than what you are doing as you are now. Let no thought, let no word, let no action come from you that is not of love. And watch what unfolds. The Dharma of love and the Dharma of fear are very different in their effects, but using the exact same substance of consciousness to generate those effects. You will have great opportunities with this one. Do not make them your teacher, but you can learn from them. Wow. Thank you, Mary. Really appreciate that question. Yes, we are love. I love this, this when they said you have to put this shirt together and wear it on the shows. It's so important. You need to remember who and what you are, not what the world has told you are. And then you have to understand what love is, because what the world believes love is, in terms of, most people define love from their physical body, which is sensuality, pleasure, this feels good, that feels good. Most people define love in terms of their physical self. And it's very limiting, and it's very destructive, and it's very harmful. If you think that the acquisition of pleasure alone is a manifestation of love, you're sorely mistaken. If the pleasure of nourishing your body and taking care of your body, exercising and keeping vital and vibrant and healthy, those are acts of love. But just the acquisition of pleasure for the sake of pleasure is not an act of love. It's simply the using your body basically as your bitch. Using your body as like a slave. A lot of people use their bodies as slaves. I want to make you feel this way, so I feel something. That's not right. That's enslaving your body. That's why we got problems on the planet right now. Anyway, sorry guys, I digress a bit. Scroll down here. Good morning, Debbie. Yes, we can do that soon. I just want to say to you, in the next 5 to 6 weeks, we're going to be going through a lot of changes at this end for our presentation and where we're going to be. Things are going to be changing very rapidly because it's that time. And I hope you're going to stay with us as things are going to really start to be affected in a brand new way. We're waking up, folks. We are here as part of the Ascension movement. And you are here as part of the Ascension movement. Remember what Michael said earlier. He said, your body is not you. Your mind, your thoughts, your memories, your emotions are not you. You are a soul. And the position of becoming the observer, that the body is an instrument that you direct, your mind is an instrument that you can change and alter by selecting and choosing thoughts and ideas very carefully. You move into a position of ascension. You start to ascend your energy from subjectivity to the body and from subjectivity to your personality. And remember, most people are suffering because of what they've been given to believe. I went through that process myself, where I was given lots of beliefs about myself that weren't reflective of who I really am. And some of you might be going through that too right now, where you believe I'm not good enough, or I'm not this, or I'm not that, or I'm this. You may have beliefs about yourself that are completely untrue, that the world gave you. Maybe you got that belief from television or your favorite cartoon when you were a child. But until you begin that process of questioning, once you begin the process of questioning, where my thoughts come from, that you start to ascend yourself up out of subjectivity to the mind. And then you begin to question, where do these thoughts come from? Where did I get this thought about that person? Where did I get this thought about money? Where did I get this thought about my health? Where did I get this thought about my eyes or what I look like? Where did those thoughts come from? Then you learn to monitor and change your thoughts accordingly. Why is my body feeling so sore? Because I'm carrying 40 extra pounds that I shouldn't be carrying. I'm putting the wrong food in my body. Once you begin that process of self-evaluation, once you begin that process, you start ascending yourself. You start to ascend from subjectivity to the body, from subjectivity to the mind. That point he's made is so important, to ascend your energy, to ascend your soul to no longer being subjective to the biology, no longer being subjective to the mind, but allowing them both to be instruments for you to use in the learning of creation. Right? I love that. So simple, so easy. Let's go here. That's right. Body, mind, soul. You are all of the above. What? No. You have the body. This is not who you are. Look at this. Is doing what I think it to do. It's following my instructions. It's not me. It's following my instructions. Please understand. I can tell the body to slap the face. I can tell the body to pour alcohol into it. And even though those things are bad for it, it has to follow me. The body is not who I am. Your body is not who you are. You get to experience what it experiences so you can learn. But you are not your body. You are not your thoughts. You can create thoughts, you can change thoughts, but you are not them. You are a soul. And that point of awareness is ascension. When you start to come to those conclusions. Someone's asking, is Glenn healing? Am I soulmate? Or do I continue to walk away? Is Glenn healing? Wow. I'm getting many different layers to this here because Glenn's going through what he's going through, and it's if you are desirous for someone else to heal, then remember who you are. If you are desirous to heal others, then remember who you are. For the functions of mind and body in the realm of the human being are almost universal. Your minds and bodies are essentially functioning under the very same principles. And your minds and bodies, whether you are in a tall body or a short body or a male body or a female body, every body is designed to react and respond to the nature and the quality of the thoughts and the information being put into the mental system or fed into it through the environment. But your bodies and your minds are instruments. You can change thoughts in your mind. You can change beliefs in your mind. And you can simply accept beliefs that have been given to you, and they will have their own effects. But you are not your body. You are not your mind. You are a soul that is able to utilize these instruments in gaining experience about creation, just as your creator gained experience about creation through its experience. Oh, thank you so much. I like that thought. Any message from my spirit guides or angels, please. There's something about clouds. There's something about clouds. Lift yourself up. You need to lift yourself up. Tell her she's got to stop going down into the past, into the anger, into the sadness. Stop going there. Stop going there. Stop looking there. You will not find relief in your suffering. You will not find relief in examining your suffering. You will not find relief in examining your suffering. For her, she must raise her mind up. She must raise her mind up. She must raise her body up. Yes. Cool. Like that. Question from Rue Lorca. What I believe to be an angel that appeared to me while I was at my work, may I know who this was and why they were there if they had a message? I get the first thing that comes to me is this was Archangel Gabriel connecting with you. There's something to be reborn in your life. There's something to be reborn in your life. Tell them to be open to this. Become excited about this, even though they may not know what it is. uh, yeah, it's good. He's saying to me, you could say that it's also kind of like, the your partner, your wife is pregnant. You don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but you know there's going to be a birth. It's kind of like that. You don't know what it is, but you know something's going to happen. They wanted you to become aware of that sensation. That's why you were so excited. They said it stimulated your awareness that there's something being reborn in your life or born in your life. Right? Very exciting, Drew. Thank you very much. Someone said, how did I know I was a medium and when? Thank you, Aria, for asking that question. I honestly started to know about 4.5 years ago. That's when I began to really know it. And I think all my life I've been guided. I've heard voices. I've had things speak to me and guide me. My guardian angel, John, first spoke to me on a bridge when I was 20 years old, about to jump off, and he told me not to. And I often was guided to dismiss those things. But it wasn't until about 4.5 years ago when very clearly and concisely I was told what I was here to do. I was told I was to awaken other souls to who they are. But that was about 4.5 years ago where I knew that I knew. Then I started looking back on, like, I got many things that I've written and never published or shared. And I used to read these things and go, wow, that's really amazing. And my wife and her sister would often joke that they would read these things I had written, or that I thought I had written, and they would read these things and they would say, that's not William writing this. This is someone else writing this through him. They knew long before I did. But yeah, about 4.5 years ago, I came to the awareness that I am able to tune into these. And it's still a learning process. Like anything else you experience, there's a process of learning to train yourself to see, to hear, to know, to feel, to get beyond my own mind. So there's a process of learning in being a medium as well. When you actually recognize, everybody has the potential and the innate functions to be able to become a medium. Everybody's got clairvoyance. Everybody's got clairaudience. Everybody's got clairsentience and claircognizance. Faculties of the soul. Just like you have sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell, your soul has its faculties. In our 102 masterclass on liberation, you will learn all this stuff. You'll learn how to open those things up, how to begin to ascend your energy from being subjective to your mind. So anybody can learn to develop those skills again, because they're not gone. You've just been so distracted by the world saying, look at that and smell that and taste that and touch this, that your internal senses, fortunately, women haven't lost it all. Women still have intuition. They just have a way of knowing a little bit more. But everybody, male or female, you have clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. They just need to be given attention and developed. So it is a learning process too. And I'm learning something new every single day. And I get many moments like that bird being flipped at the truck driver, literally a physical bird. That was quite funny for me. I'm still chuckling about it today. Oh, wow. Thank you, Angel's Eyes. Relief. She wants me to tell you how relieved she is. She's still hanging around because she wants you to understand. She wants you to live your life fully. Live your life with the joy. That's the way she's saying it. And that's a foreign accent I'm hearing. But she's saying, live your life with the joy. She wants you to live your life with the joy. Yes, I understand. But she's feeling great relief. She felt your love as she left, and she feels your love now as you're reaching out to her. Yeah, live your life with the joy. She wants you to know that and do that and be that. Live your life with the joy. Right? That's really cool the way I said. I don't have to get the accents that clear. I see that question. How to unlock my spiritual abilities? Hi, Victoria. You want to unlock your spiritual abilities? Get engaged in a learning process that teaches you how to open them up. Most people are trying to awaken their spirituality through what they already know, what they remember, what they've been taught, what they read in books, what you experience with your body. You need to learn to wake yourself up. And how do you do that? You teach your mind and you teach your body to follow your directions. In our 102 Masterclass, you learn the process of teaching your mind and body to be quiet, to be still, so that you as an awareness can begin to awaken. So you really want to keep that, to awaken your spiritual abilities. Your spiritual abilities can come through your body, but not from your body. Your spiritual abilities can go through your mind, but they cannot come from your mind. Your mind and body are of this world. Your spiritual abilities are of your soul. And you have to differentiate yourself as a soul from your body and your mind in order to begin to recognize who you are. Remember who you are. Awaken. It's like Michael was saying earlier. Ascension is awakening your soul. Ascension is awakening your soul. And your soul is not your body. Your soul is not your mind. You are your soul. And you have to make once you can make the distinction between body and mind, you start to awaken. That's when ascension starts to really happen for you, right? When you start to remember who you are again. Question from Adam. Why exactly did I see an owl staring at me in my mind's eye? And can you please identify which spirit sent that message? I'm getting a strong energy coming in from Pan. He's saying, I see you and now you see me. Now, know me. Do not see me with your mind. Know me with your feeling. Know me with your feeling. Know me with your feeling. Yes. Okay. I'm just asking. So what he's told me I can do, I'm going to just kind of paraphrase the presentation. He's saying that the owl was to get you aware of his presence. But he wants you to connect to the feeling of the experience rather than the mental interpretation, your mind's interpretation of his energy. When you can drop your visual representation of it as the owl, go into the underlying energy that he's communicated, the feeling that he's communicated for you to receive, because it's in the feeling that you'll get the truth. And yes, he's also saying that you'll actually open up clairvoyance when you access that energy of the feeling. When you open up that energy of the feeling, Adam, you'll begin to access clairvoyance, right? And clairvoyance isn't about necessarily seeing like metaphors and things like that, but it's actually about seeing. I'm trying to find a word for it. It's like seeing, knowing. It's like you just know. It's really difficult to say, but you'll experience it when you do. Go into the feeling element, not the visual element of it. Wow, really, that's cool, Adam. I would trade my best cow for your hand in marriage. I love that. Yeah, well, cows are very useful too, right? They're beautiful beings. How do I join the queue? I'm not sure. Oh, the queue. You mean like the queue? The omnipotent queue? Again, if you want to join the masterclasses, just go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com. If you want to book a reading with me, you can do so through my website as well. If you want to ask a single question, you can do so through the Linktree link in my bio or on my YouTube channel in my description box. Yes, so there's different ways you can get into the queue. Hi, Tanya. God wins always. Yeah. Any message today from my spirit guides or Grammy? I'm funny. I'm hearing this humming sound, like like chanting. Like there's hum today. Like pay attention. Yeah, they're telling me to tell you to make sounds today. Like make sounds, not sounds that are made up sound, but make different sounds. This one needs to adjust her frequency. She needs to adjust her frequency. Make sounds. Again, I'm getting sound when I do it. Just like this. I sound got so it makes me want to laugh. Tickles me. So making humming sounds today will be really useful for you, Tanya. Humming sounds. Feel the energy. Like do it right now and feel what happens. Because when I do it, it's like this energy is really intense. So yeah, humming sounds will alter and change the frequency of your energy. That'll be really useful for you today. That's really cool. Someone's saying, can I please have a reading? Yeah, if you want to book a reading with me, go to my website. Like I said, you can book a half-hour reading or 1-hour reading, WilliamMichaelForbes.com, or you can go to TorontoMedium.com. Either one of those, you can get to my the link to book a reading with me, half-hour or 1 hour. If you just want to ask a couple of questions, if you're on TikTok, go to my Linktree link underneath my bio and click on that. You can ask a question, and I'll get back to you right away. That's wonderful. Wakey. That's funny. Yeah, I see that. Will I still benefit from 102 from just doing the replays? Absolutely, Amanda. Absolutely. If you apply the process. I mean, I think you've been in our 101 masterclass this last few weeks. So there is a definite distinction between the live events and the recordings, but you will get exactly what is right for you, even in the replays. They're very powerful. And we've had people to come right through the whole course only being able to do the replays. And you can go to my testimonials page on my website and look at some of the testimonials of people that have taken the 102 masterclass. It's quite beautiful to see how people's lives have been affected by the work that they do through us. The message from Archangel Michael, Barb. Someone saying, good morning. I'm going back to the oncologist. Please tell me how it's going to go. I'm being told to tell you it's going to go according to your faith. You need to release all of your anger and fear. You cannot carry that fear and anger around any longer. You must understand your body carries the burden of your mind, and it also carries the blessing of your mind. Hear these words. Your body carries the burden of your mind, and it can also carry the blessing of your mind. Get rid of your burden. Unburden yourself. Surrender your fear. Surrender your anger. Surrender your judgment. I'm also being told you need to make some changes in what you're eating. Cool. And sending you much blessing and healing. I'm asking Archangel Raphael to go hang out with you for a little while. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm not alone, but I'm lonely. Is anyone watching over me? Yes, they are. You got a guardian angel. She's female, and the name I'm hearing is Darilyn. Darilyn. This one's been with you for a while. It's important you feel her energy to the right of you. When you go into those moments where you're feeling lonely, you need to feel her presence. Don't define whether you are alone or not by what you see with your eyes or hear with your ears. Let yourself feel our presence with you. Let yourself feel our presence with you. It is when you are lonely that you are most able to realize that you are not. Wow, I like that. That's really cool. Got a question. Oh, hi, Con. Good to see you. Question from Daniela. Why do my guides repeatedly convey to me the city name Haifa? I'm being told to tell you, go there in the time of the high sun. I don't know what that means. They're saying go there in the time of the high sun. I don't know what that means, Danielle, but that's what I'm being told to tell you. Go there in the time of the high sun. I don't know. Is there such a city called Haifa? We should check that out. Shouldn't we check that out? See if there's a city called Haifa. Go there in the time of the high sun. City of Haifa. Let's see what we get here, guys. It's in Israel. Apparently, it's a city in Israel, Haifa. But they're saying go there in the time of the high sun. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Yes. So this is an astrological structuring of the solar and planetary body where the sun, relative to this place on your planet, is at its highest point away from that place. Go there at the time when the sun is highest. Wow, that's really cool, Danielle. Thank you so much for that. Let me scroll down here. You're never alone, darling. You are never alone. Someone saying, hi, lots of love and light. Hard day for me, but I still want to spread the light. Yes. Come and join our 102 Liberation Masterclass. Literally, like you need to realize that these emotions, these bad emotions that we sometimes get, these low vibrational states we get in, can be leveraged. Like you can use the energy of a low vibrational energy to catapult yourself, much the same way as you can use the weight on a flywheel to make the wheel spin by having that extra weight on that one part. So you can sometimes leverage the energy of low vibrational thoughts like anger, fear. You can actually use the energy of that and elevate your energy up to a much higher place, right? Again, we teach that in they teach that in the 102. How do you control mind body meditation? By teaching your body. You need to teach your body to be the way you need it to be. But you also have to be mindful of its needs. Your body's an animal. It's a living thing. Your body is an animal. It feels pain. It feels pleasure. It needs food. It needs water. If you don't give your body food and water, it will stop living. So you have to understand how to treat your body properly. Properly means you're healthy, not walking down the street overweight and huffing and puffing. You can see, I see people on the street, or you just don't feed it properly. You're chronically dehydrated. You're in a state that your body is not loved. People make a mistake in believing the body is who you are. Your body is not who you are. It's an instrument. It's an animal that you've been blessed as a gift to use to learn creation. But yeah, you really want to get to that place of love towards your body. You really want to get there. How to best deal with my daughter right now? I'm being told to tell you, you must understand your function of love towards this child. To not have the desire to force them into what you believe is right for them, but to let your love guide your words and your actions, not your fear, not your anger. So many of you let your fear and anger misguide your actions in the illusion that this is somehow loving. Love can be very stern, but love is not angry. Love can be very powerful, but not fearful. You must understand the authority of love is very profound in how it will affect and influence your loved ones. You must understand the power of love and how to use it properly. But do not let your fear and your anger be that which you would utilize to assist them. Let your love, and even when you are not in their presence, to let your love guide them. I extend my love to you to guide you. I'm being told to tell you to do that. Extend your love to them to guide them. I extend my love to you to guide you. Not my fear, stop putting your fear and anger towards people you love. Anybody who's listening, not just this person who's getting the question answered. But let the extension of your love go towards those that you are concerned about. Let your love go, not your fear, not your concern, not your anger, not your judgment. Offer them your love. You'll be quite amazed at the power of the extension of love, even if you're not in the presence of that person. I cannot tell you how many times I've thought about people that I loved and extended that love to them, and so all of a sudden they're calling me and say, hey, how you doing? And we're having a wonderful conversation. You are not based in your body alone. When you think a thought, you send that thought to people. When you have a feeling and you think about that person, you're sending them that feeling like a package. You're delivering an invisible package to them. Stop it. Deliver love to them. Like, wherever you are, I wish you love, grace, joy, happiness, and peace in all things that you do, in all places, situations, and circumstances. Let that be your offering to your daughter. And let the miracle of love reveal itself to you. Let the miracle of love reveal itself to you. Yes, I'm being told to also say there are some of you that must understand that there are those in this world who you must take by the scruff of the neck and shake them into straightening them out. You have to do that, to be very firm with them, but not with anger, with love, knowing that you are shaking the darkness out of them. Right? Wow, that's pretty cool. Someone saying, how can I solve my teeth financial issue? to free the world completely from darkness. You must understand the functions and actions of love. Will recognize that what functions and actions are necessary in any and all situations. Like take for example, people think that by making drugs available to drug addicts, you're helping them. You're not helping them. By making the very tools that harm them available to them, you're not helping them. And yet billions of dollars are being spent helping people, right? Billions being spent helping people, and it's getting worse. Why do you think? Because you're not helping them. You don't help them by giving them the thing that's harming them. It's stupid. That's me speaking personally. It's stupid. It really is. I can't. It's just mind-blowing. Portland, Oregon, Vancouver, Canada, many other cities around the world. And you think that by giving people access to the thing that's harming them, you're helping. That's stupid. Stop it. Stop being stupid. That's for those that are doing that. Don't do it. Who is my main spirit guide and how do I connect with Master Jesus? Connect to Master Jesus. Like, feel his presence. I was never a big Jesus guy in my life. Not until the last 4.5 years when he started speaking to me and others began speaking to me. You would never hear me praising Jesus or God or Moses or any of these beings or Archangel Michael. Now, connect to the energy of Master Jesus. You can ask him to come to you. You can ask Archangel Michael. You can ask God. But you must ask. Any message from my spirit guides or angels, please? Go slowly today. Go very slowly with a smile. Go slowly with a smile. Will I get that job? Someone say, will I get that job? Not this one. You'll get the second one after. There's going to be 2 more opportunities after this. And you're going to get the 2 more after that. It's the third one after this that you're going to want. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Listening to me talking is healing. Yeah, every time I feel their energy come through me, it is healing. It really, really is. You are not alone. Inside you, there is a love and a light. It's what you are made of. It's what you are as a soul are made of. Your mind and body are made up by this world, but you are made up by love. You are fashioned by the hand of love. And it's my great privilege and honor to be able to, in whatever way I can, to transmit that energy, allow it to move through me, whether it's in the voice of Archangel Michael or Master Jesus or Buddha or my guardian angel John. I will let that voice speak through me in whatever way I can for the rest of this biological lifetime. This is what I will do, to raise people up to the truth of who they are, so that you can live your life and do what you came here to do. Live as love, be as love, create as love, right? And that might sound like, to some people, really airy-fairy. And from a perspective of the practical way, yes, it could potentially be that. But there is a practicality to love. Love does things and says things very differently than what fear does. They're very different thoughts. They're very different actions. But yeah, I'm really grateful. And thank you so much for appreciating that. And I'm so grateful. And I offer you whatever healing may come through me to you, that your guides and your angels would pass on to you energetically what you need to receive at this moment, in whatever fashion and way you're ready to receive it, that you be elevated up to your highest potential in some way, shape, or form. But what Michael was saying earlier in the beginning of this live today, what he was saying is very important, that you need to awaken your soul. That is Ascension. You're not your body, you're not your mind, but you need to awaken yourself, elevate yourself up from subjectivity to them. And right now, a lot of people are lost in the body. They're fighting to suffer, to mutilate their bodies, to kill living beings. They think that the body is all about life. Your body is not the source of your life. Your body is the instrument through which you express your life. And you are free to express your life as a function of love or a function of fear. There's no other middle ground here, folks. Then the energy coming into the planet right now, there's actual energy coming to this planet that's going to elevate us all or bring us all down, depending on what energy you're going to allow. If you're going to be living in fear, that will be amplified. If you're living in love, that will be amplified. And I wish you so much love wherever you are, whatever your situation is. I transmit to you whatever love you are open to receiving at this time. Let you receive it. Please receive it. Please receive it. Because you can. Just by saying, I'm open and receptive to receiving love. Not from this world. I'm just open and receptive to receiving the energy of love. Sometimes that can be enough. And I was standing on that bridge ready to jump off. And I remember thinking in my mind, if anybody could help me, could they please help me? That was my last thought before I was putting my foot out into the air. And then a voice said, stop. And I did. I stopped. I got down off that bridge. And I made a phone call that voice told me to go and make to a number I'd never known. And it changed my life forever. And it's taken me a lot of years to come out of that dark, dark place through many trials and tribulations to get to this place where I think I'm awake enough now to have my ears open to wisdom and truth and turn away from fear and anger and guilt and shame, which are the energies of the darkness, I call it. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to get into a diatribe there, guys. Someone's asking, will I get pregnant again before the end of 2023? If it's a question in your mind, then it's likely you won't. If you change your question into a statement, notice the difference in the energy. People don't realize what your words create. Why do you think it says, in the beginning God spoke? Because the word is the power of creation. So when you ask a question, will I get pregnant before the end of 2023? It's a question mark. If you change it to, I will get pregnant before the end of 2023, feel the difference between those two statements. Feel the different energy, because the energy organizes our experience. The energies, whether it's fear or love, joy or sorrow, your emotional energy is organizing your experiences. For everyone, there's nobody, you cannot escape that reality. Your emotions are organizing your experiences. So change that question to a statement and feel the difference in the air. Get connected to that energy. I will get pregnant before the end of 2023. And then your partner, who you're with, get them to do the same thing. Get engaged. And know this: if you get into doubt, if you start going, really, will we? Well, now you're changing it. You're flipping back and forth. You got to get really clear on the energy of one. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve I will and I will not. You can't. It won't work. Nothing will happen. But you go into the energy of I will, and he goes in the energy of we will, and go from I to we. We will, because it's a joint venture, right? It's not just you. The idea of and I'm so happy for you that you're choosing to give another soul the opportunity to experience the process and practice of creation. Do you realize every time you can bring a human soul into this world, you give that soul a chance to learn what you're learning now about creation. And there are trillions of souls that have been lined up trying to get into this planet to experience this before one thing or another happens, right? I'm not going to get into that right now. That's really fascinating. Danielle is saying the second word I heard with Haifa was Siddharte. I don't know what that word is, but we know that now that Haifa is a city in Israel, and that you need to go there at the time of the high sun. I don't know what that time is, but you can look that up. I have no idea what that means. I'm just a delivery boy. Thank you so much. Hi, Cheryl's asked me, hi, would you be able to tell me who my guide is? Any message for me? Thank you. I'm getting a J word. Jivanal. Jivanal. Yeah. Very male energy. Very male energy. But it comes across with a female softness. His energy is very soft, but it's very male. He's been trying to choose the right, help you to choose the right partner. There's some business venture you're getting involved in. Yeah. And he's in the process of trying to get you to choose the right partner in the business venture. And I don't know again what the business venture is, but that's what he's telling me. He wants you to know that right now. I got time for one more question, and then we're gonna ride off into the sunrise. Let's see what we have. Oh, someone's asking how to heal addiction to unhealthy food. This is a great question. Please come and join our 102 Masterclass. You're not addicted to food. You're addicted to feeling good in the wrong way. All addictions are based on a desire to experience yourself in your true light. All addictions, I don't care who you are, where you are, what your addiction is. The reason for your addiction is you're trying to get to a place where you get to experience yourself as you really are in the best possible way. And most people have been trained to do that through their body. But you are not your addiction. The addiction is just a misdirection. And again, for you personally, yes, you need to start really loving and appreciating your body. Start by giving it a little bit of water today. Give it a little bit more water today. And when you have a desire for that chocolate, you have a desire for the chocolate, you got that desire, you stop and go and give it the sweetness of a tangerine or an orange or an apple. And when you do that, like really enjoy the sweetness of the apple or the orange. Like forget about the chocolate, but really go into the flavor of the apple, the feeling of it, or the orange or the tangerine, but something that is a living food. And really go into that, like really give your body the experience. Because you got to teach your body. You got to bring your body's attention to the energy of the new food. Again, there's the emotions that are underlying it, like the need to feel good, is because there's a part of you that feels really bad inside. In our 102 Masterclass, we are guided and taught how to release and liberate old emotions from our bodies and old thoughts from our minds. And you will teach your body in a very different way than you've ever taught it before. So again, go sign up for the Masterclass. Don't waste time. You only got a week and a half left to sign up. So please go do that. WilliamMichaelForbes.com for those of you who want to join it. I want to thank you for that question, because addiction is just an attempt to feel better about yourself because you don't know any other way to do it. But you are a soul. Thank you so much. You're very welcome, guys. Yeah, I see. I saw that question. I'm sorry I can't get to all the questions today. Remember to give the video a thumbs up, to like, to subscribe, to share, to join, to follow. But most importantly, share this information. And for those of you that are on TikTok, I can't post this entire video back up on the site, but I can certainly say go to my YouTube channel and share the video from there to anybody that you know that might need to hear this information in any way, shape, or form. And I want to wish you all much, much love today. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. And I will see you guys on the Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul, where it's all just Q&A. Well, I can't always say that because sometimes they want to say different things at that time, but Friday is generally Q&A. I want to wish you all much love. Have yourselves a great day. Bye for now.